Hello folks, I'm Alex, this is Alex Unabridged, and today I've got a little bit of a channel update for you. So welcome or welcome back if that is the case. Yes, I need to make a few changes. It's time for a change in many different ways. I've got some life changes approaching essentially. So I need to rethink some of my BookTube stuff to make sure that I can keep bringing you videos. It's going to get potentially quite busy for me. I'm making some partial career changes and that's kind of so that my wife and I can make some life changes in terms of where we live and the sort of house we have and the sort of life we have together, things like that. So yeah, lots of changes on the way. Going to be a bit of a strange time, I should think, while we're sorting all of the stuff out for the next year or so. So I just need to tweak some stuff on BookTube to make sure that I can keep going with this. I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying on BookTube. I love it. I'm not about to give this up. This makes me very happy doing this. But yeah, I do need to shift some stuff around, make some changes to sort of what and how I read, how I make videos, what sort of videos I make, just generally how I BookTube, how my kind of reading life sort of looks, etc., all that kind of thing. So I'm going to go through those changes today for you. So what needs to change with BookTube then? Making videos, generally speaking, at the moment it takes me too long to make videos, in terms of I spend quite a lot of time on prep for stuff, and filming takes me too long, editing therefore also takes me too long, but the main thing is I just need to cut down the run time of my videos. I need to master the art of pith, which is easier said than done. For anybody who's watched the channel for a bit, you will know that I tend to go on. Okay, in terms of general content, the shape of what happens on the channel and stuff then. Projects, my reading projects. I started off 2024 with 4 ongoing projects to take me all the way through, ongoing throughout the year. That's just way too much now. That is going to be way too much. Some months I might be able to do it and other months absolutely not. So I'm going to cut them down so that I'm not overfaced. My general theme with all of these changes is chill out. Don't overface myself. So yeah, so I started off the year with these projects. They were the quarterly chunk, one big ass book per quarter. I have been doing Historathon 2024, that long-running year-long event of history non-fiction. The science fiction for the somewhat hesitant project of my own, where I'm going through some of the sci-fi classics to get me into sci-fi a lot more. And then the My Month With project, which was reading some of the authors that I've only read a little bit of before, reading some more by then and seeing where I sat, whether I liked them, whether I didn't like them generally. So the quarterly chunk is going to go on hold for the moment. If I think I can manage it in the future, I will pick it up again because I have enjoyed what I've read. I will obviously do my wrap up for quarter 2's pick, which was Swan Song. Into July. I'll get the wrap up for that out, but I'm not gonna do anything for quarter 3 and see if that lightens the load a bit. So yeah, that's something I can pick up again at some point and kind of do it if I find that I have time. Historathon then. As much as I've enjoyed the bits that I've read for the event, I'm gonna have to bow out of that one at this stage, largely because it takes me so long to read history non-fiction, but also because I find that a lot more taxing brain-wise, focus-wise. Like one of the changes that's come in life-wise, career-wise, is going to be that I'm going to be potentially doing something that is going to take a lot more focus during the day in terms of concentrated reading of and analysis of text. And if I want to read books after work, as in like for fun, then it's going to need to be much more kind of digestible fiction stuff. I think I'm going to want something completely outside of kind of a really concentrated, like focused reading and analysis of text. I'm going to need something that just is not that taxing on the brain at all. So I'll drop in non-fiction books here and there in my general reading, because I have really enjoyed reading them, and I've got some that I do want to read down the line, but I'm just going to be picky about what those are and when I read them. So I don't want to like be trying to fit in stuff for an event and stuff like that. So as I say, I've really enjoyed it, and it has kind of got me back into being interested in that sort of stuff, that history non-fiction. But yeah, I'm just going to bow out of Historathon at this point for that. Okay, science fiction for the somewhat hesitant stays exactly as it is. I love this project so much. I'm having so much fun and just finding so much fantastic stuff that I just wouldn't have picked up otherwise. And seeing that kind of history of where, you know, sort of where science fiction kind of started, if you like, and kind of seeing the progression through what's influenced the modern stuff that I read, things like that. I love it. Yeah. So the only change with this one is that I'm going to try get, you know, not ramble on so long in the reviews of the books that I read. Like I said before, pith, conciseness. That's where we're going with that. But other than that, the schedule stays the same. The format stays the same. There'll just be hopefully more concise reviews. And then finally, the author's project of mine, My Month With. I'm still going to do this, but it's going to be in a different form. I still want to read all the books and authors that I've got on that original list. But also, inevitably, I've read authors in the last 6 months or so that I also then want to dive into more as well. And I've kind of got a bit of a backlog of series building up, which will also continue to grow in terms of a backlog from other books that I've got on that schedule for the author's projects. A lot of those are the first in a series by that particular author. And I want to jump on those series as well and get them read before everything about book one in that series just kind of leaves my mind. I have a terrible memory at times, and I really don't want to leave it too long that then I'm kind of going, I kind of need to read that first book again before I go on with the series. So I'm going to mix it up a little bit. I'm going to keep making my way through that list of authors, absolutely. And I'm going to start tackling some series too, because that still fits in, you know, it's a series, it's one off. And yeah, see if I can get those series completed. And I'll pick the author that I read month to month. I'm going to move away from that schedule. I can pick the author then based on the mood that I'm in, how much time I have. So I can go for an author who's done more short stuff when I've got less time, and stuff that's more complex, more taxing on the brain. I can leave that for when I definitely know I've got the, you know, brain space for that, etc. So yeah, just going to mix it up a bit and make it a little bit more kind of month to month. What do I feel like? What have I got time for? I just need to give myself some flexibility on that. So yeah, and then when I've finished, like when I've read enough to kind of come to a conclusion about, you know, how I feel about that particular author, or when I've finished a series, then I will put up a video wrapping that all up nicely. That might end up being once a month, that might, or every two, or just whenever. I don't know. I'm just going to reduce that commitment to doing something every single month. So yeah, so the principle of the project of My Month With stays, but the title of My Month With doesn't fit anymore, so that goes. The last one of those that I'll have will be my Becky Chambers wrap up, which is coming very soon, But I'll probably just end up calling the wrap-ups that I do for each video for the authors or series or whatever, something like author spotlight or series spotlight or what have you. Not exactly original, but why reinvent the wheel? Okay, so other content then, other general reading plans, other general content. So what I want to read outside of my projects and things like that is going to inform the rest of the content, obviously, as is time constraints, things like that. And I've been thinking about what do I love the most about BookTube and how it's been most positive on my reading. And I think the main thing for me is that it's been so good for making me read lots of different stuff, making me want to read lots of different stuff, lots of random stuff that has turned out to be, you know, some absolute gems of things which I never would have found otherwise. And the thing that's really led to that is events. You know, I love that kind of broad guide of what to read without being too prescriptive. So going forwards, for months when I've not got an actual proper event to take part in, I'm going to give myself a broad theme to guide my reading, which will hopefully help me clear some of my backlog that I've got in stock. And it always means that I'll have like a wealth of possibilities to help me mood read as well. I need to definitely move towards mood reading more. I've done that in June, mood reading to just the theme of Pride Month, LGBTQIA plus stuff. That's been brilliant. I've loved it, and I haven't felt pressure at all to like get us through a certain amount. So yeah, I'm going to keep going with that kind of approach basically. So yeah, sometimes these themes might be a bit more kind of fixed. Like July, my first theme for this will be Game On, and so I'm going to be going for books that have any connection to video or board games. More on that will come next week when I do my kind of, you know, July's what's happening in July video. Some months the theme could be a lot more open to interpretation. So like one that I've kind of already kind of got on my mind is things with wings. So that could refer to, you know, flying insects, birds, planes, things set in a theatre. Do you know what I mean? There could be anything that if I can crowbar that into things with wings, then it works. And that could be reference to something on the cover, something in the title, or in that case, you know, even something as obscure as having a character in it that works in a fried chicken joint, for instance. Do you know what I mean? It's like it could be anything. It's all open to my interpretation. And I get so much joy randomly out of finding things to fit prompts or themes, things like that with events, that I want to build that into my own reading on a regular basis as well. It's about having fun with it. I have got to give credit to the Mild Rumpus for this idea though. He's been doing the same sort of thing with the themes kind of idea, and I love it. It's great. So I'm stealing it. I'm stealing it from the Mild Rumpus. So other general content then, looking at, you know, that's how I'm going to read and pick what I read. How is that going to inform my content? Seeing as I'm trying to be a little bit more kind of chill and fluid with my reading, I'm taking the same approach to the rest of the content, away from project stuff. So TBRs will cease to exist because I don't want anything fixed apart from that project stuff for the science fiction. This will turn into a plans for insert month here. You know, though if there's an event on, I'll most likely go through an event specific sort of pile of possibilities. Then wrap-ups, I'll definitely do any event specific wrap-ups when I've finished that event, but I'm not entirely sure about monthly wrap-ups yet. Possibly a very kind of like condensed rundown of what I've read. But generally I'm going to move to a weekly format. This might be more of a kind of a sit down chat sort of wrap up like, you know, this sort of video where I sit down and just talk. But ideally, I kind of want to make them quite vloggy. I love watching vlogs. I've really got into watching reading vlogs and stuff like that. There are some really good stuff out there, and I like the sort of informal nature of them, and I like seeing the other bits, you know, other little glimpses into people's lives, because I'm a nosy bugger. And yeah, I think that potentially could be something that might help with my kind of cutting down on time in terms of filming time. Yeah, there's editing time that comes in with that, but the filming time is kind of what often takes me the longest. So if I can just film bits and pieces daily as I'm like out walking the dog or on my lunch break, you know, or just in the evening or what have you, and then pull everything together at the end of each week, then hopefully that should cut down on my prep time. Plus, it will help with some of the memory issues that I have. When I get really busy, especially with work stuff, as I'm probably about to, my short-term memory goes to absolute shit. And if I wait till the end of the month, and I have experienced this before, if I wait till the end of the month to talk about something that I've read at the beginning of the month, I really struggle to recall that properly. So yeah, whereas if I talk about it in a vlog kind of daily as I've, you know, kind of read stuff, so I read something at night and then the next morning when I take the dog out, I can have a little chat to you about it as part of a vlog. That should help with that problem. You'll get a fresh read or a fresh kind of take from me on what I'm feeling about a book at a time. And the other thing with vlogs as well is that I can include a lot of stuff about kind of my writing and my artwork and, you know, the other stuff that's kind of book related that'll be coming up, you know, and show you work in progress and all that kind of stuff, without having to devote kind of a specific video just to that element. I can also do that as well when I've got time, but it means that I can actually fold all of that stuff in, and again, it's, you know, it kind of gives you a different sort of take on it as I'm kind of doing stuff, and hopefully it'll be interesting to people as well. So yeah, I'll be new to vlogging. I've only done a couple of vlogs in the past, holiday vlogs, so we'll see how it goes, but I will give it a good try. If it doesn't work, I can keep the weekly wrap-ups as kind of more of a sit-down chat type thing, like most of my videos are now. But yeah, let's give the vlogs a go and see where that goes, and do a weekly. So that will be on Sundays, I think, probably, my weekly vlogs, and they will start in July. Tag videos, I'm still going to do tag videos. I love these because they're a community thing. They're not going to be going anywhere. So feel free to still tag me and stuff. I really like those. They're generally quite quick and easy to do, and I can find a pocket of time for them easily enough. And reviews, I will do the occasional review when I think that there's a book that's worthy of a full video. Or if I've read an advanced reader copy of something, I've started getting a couple of those. But generally I won't kind of go mad on reviews across, you know, across the board really. So that's the general shape of things to come. This will be starting in July. Finally, a word on BookTube and the community. One of the things that I have just not had enough time to do recently is properly engage with the community. It's one of the things that I love about, you know, BookTube generally, and specifically events. That's one reason why I love events. And it's such a fantastic community on here. And I feel really bad when I don't engage with other folks enough. I will always respond to comments, even if it takes me a day or two, but I want to be able to interact with people more on their videos as well. I still watch a fair bit of BookTube, not as much as I'd like, but I do still watch a fair bit of BookTube. But I just haven't had a huge amount of time to comment on other people's videos and really interact like I did when I started out. And I miss that side of things. I miss that a lot. So I need, you know, hopefully if I can reduce the amount of time that I spend on creating my own stuff, that'll free up a little bit. And I don't need loads, I just need a little bit of time that I can actually dedicate consciously to engaging with other people through their own videos. Do you know what I mean? Like commenting on other folks' videos. Same goes for my own Discord as well. I am terrible with that. I don't hop on it anywhere near as much as I should and as I'd like to. And again, I'm going to try and put aside a little bit of time to be able to do that and actually engage with you lovely people who join me on Discord a bit more. So I think that's everything. That's a general channel update. There are a few changes coming, but as I say, you probably won't, you know, you're not going to lose any content from me. It's just going to change a bit, hopefully making it a bit more manageable for me. We'll see how it goes. Bear with me while I get into the swing of doing things a bit differently. And if you see changes in the thumbnails and anything like that, that's all part of the package of changes. I don't know when that'll start, but you know, I'm going to try and figure that out. But yeah, there we go. That is the channel update. This is where we are going from the beginning of July. So that will do from me today. Thank you very much for watching, folks. As always, do get in touch in the comments. It's always lovely to hear from you. I will be back on Sunday with something, I'm not sure what yet, but there will be more ramblings from me on Sunday. So I hope you will tune in then for whatever that is. But from me, for now, that's ta-ra.